So this is a hand from GM to 5,
All right, so
8-handed.
MGM National Harbor, which is what, a 1K cap game?
1K cast, yes.
Yeah, 1,000 max buy-in. Okay.
So we're 1.6K effective on the effective stack.
Okay.
So pre-flop goes under the gun opens to 25
Okay.
Alex. And I have ace queen of diamonds under the gun +1.
So speak up a
Uh,
little bit, buddy. Ace Queen of Diamonds from under the gun +1, right?
right.
Okay.
So I 3-bet to 75.
So hero 3 bets to 75. Okay.
So under the gun +2 guy right next to me, he 4-bets to 185.
To how much?
185.
So +2, cold 4 bets to 185. Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, we're fairly deep. He was sitting with 2.5 something, so I'm still the effective stack at 1.6.
Okay.
So everybody folds. I called.
And you call?
Yep.
So it's a really, I mean, it's a kind of a small 4 bet. I mean, it's a cool 4 bet, but you've got 4 bet sizing here of like 2.2 to 2.3. I mean, you're getting an incredible price here at what is basically 300 big blinds effective, but it's not, again, I will hark back and say that it is 300 big blinds effective, but you can see how big the pot gets with just a 5x open, which is probably standard in this game. Maybe it's 4x. 75 to 185 is 260 plus the 25 is like 285. I mean, it's like 105 or 110 for 285. You can't fold ace queen suited here. So I would absolutely continue on. Although I will say, Vamsi, probably cold 4 betting is not a common thing in this game, right?
Definitely not a common thing. There was some history building with this particular villain.
Uh huh.
Again, I have never seen him before. I play here pretty much every weekend.
Okay.
But yeah, we played a couple of small pots. I won't get too much into that, but it was just
Okay.
there. So anyway, I call and the flop is Queen of Clubs, 9 of Diamonds, 6 of Diamonds.
Queen of club. Queen of clubs, 9 of diamonds, 6 of diamonds. Queen of clubs, 9 of diamonds, 6 of diamonds. Okay.
I obviously check and we see that's 150-ish.
So you flop top pair in the nut flush draw, right? All right. So +2 bets 150. You got ace queen of diamonds here. I mean, right off the top, I think some people would feel like, oh, I want to just shovel as much money in here as possible. I don't really think that top pair with the ace kicker here, with ace queen of diamonds here, I mean, you cover the board, and unless like you're somehow going to get a fold from king specifically, there's really no reason I think to check raise here. I mean, you've got, if the guy has ace king, you just have him absolutely crushed. And
And
I just don't know if an overpair is going to fold in a 4 bet pot anyway. So I think that the most efficient way to actually play this hand is to call down. It would be interesting, like if you hit diamonds like at the end, are you forced to sort of bet because you don't want it to go check? But that's kind of my thoughts on the
I
flop
agree
here.
with you completely.
Yeah,
I mean, we check raise to get better hands to fold, and
right.
obviously no better hand is folding here, right?
Yeah,
And by calling, we keep the bluff in, and I mean, we can never fold the hand, even if we
yep.
know that we're behind, right? So I flat call.
Okay, so you call.
And turn is a 9 of clubs,
By the way, I have
pairing the
around
board.
700 here now. So the turn is the 9 of clubs, so it pairs the middle card.
Yep.
Okay.
So I check, and that's like 325.
So wow. So +2 bets, 325 into 700. And obviously if you call, the pot will be like 1350 and you'll have I don't know, maybe 900 or 1,000 left. I mean, I think calling here is still the right play. It is somewhat concerning here that he's continuing to fire, although some people would continue to fire here where a 9x isn't going to really be represented. I mean, this is not a single raise pot. I think sometimes people look at, a board texture and they're like, oh, the middle pair pairs. I have to check this back. This is such an extreme example as opposed to like a single raise pot where the button opens and the big blind defends, where you're really dealing with a lot of wide ranges. And then, yeah, I mean, the nine's going to favor like the big blinds range a lot, but this is a cold 4-bet pot. The 9 really shouldn't have a whole lot of relevance. I don't even know if you have 9x here from +1 just initially 3-betting the under the gun opener. So he could easily continue to fire here and think that maybe you're going to come off of like some sort of suited Broadway or maybe something like that, although he's ahead of that if he does have like ace king. But if you were to have like, ace 5 or something. So, I mean, I would obviously continue to just call down here.
Agreed. And the 9 is very irrelevant, as you said. The only thing is it decreases our outs if, let's say, he has king specifically, right?
Right. You could hit a diamond, yeah, specifically king, the king of diamonds, or for whatever reason, if he's a jack or something like that, right? You know what I mean? Or or if he's got quad 9s right now, or pocket 6s right now, right? Or the queen, so the case queen,
yeah. It reduces one out, but other than that, we just call it.
Yep.
But it is worrisome when he's firing, 4-betting,
yep,
3-betting, and firing a third time.
Yep.
So we call, and the river is a brick.
So you check?
Yeah. So I check. Yes. And he shoves for whatever my stack is, right? He throws like a 1K check.
I think that you've got like 900 or 1,000, right? It looks like the pot is 2,300, and it is 950 for you to call, right? Well, these are definitely underbluff spots. I mean, king kind of screams out here. I don't know how often somebody is really capable of I don't know the last time I've seen somebody barrel off in a 4-bet pot all in here. Now, if you do want to play like a little bit of an MDF game here, you're blocking pocket queens, and it's like, well, am I getting, the guy's only betting 950 into 1350 all in, so it's less than a pot size bet. So he only needs to be right like 40% of the time, or maybe even less than that. I've got to defend with 60% of the hands that I get down here. With the fact that you have ace queen, which blocks aces, I think comes into play here. So it very well might be in the 40% of hands that you have here, although he's sized kind of small with his 4-bet, so I don't know. Like, do you have hands, from a theoretical perspective, do you have hands that are going to fold to this 4-bet sizing pre-flop that you 3-bet from +1? Like, under the gun opened, you 3-bet, and then he made it like 2.2x from +2. What are you folding there pre?
Nothing, yeah, I mean,
so if you're not folding anything, there, then ace queen has to fall into that MDF range. If it was more of a standard, little bit larger sizing where you're starting to have 3-bet folds, then maybe you can sort of discuss it. I mean, that's the theory of it. Could I see an exploitable fold? Sure. If you call, is it bad? No. I don't think so. You're blocking. I mean, I expect when you call down, though, you're going to get turned over aces or kings or something like that. What ended up happening?
Yeah, so I would generally go with the player, and most often I would fold, at least against the population here I've been playing with. Most of the time they would show up. Again, like I said, there was some history with this. I floated him earlier, and a couple of other hands. And the pre-flop 4-bet sizing, as you said, was smaller, so it could be some weird hands here, right? Like king jack of diamonds, he's 4-betting to see maybe, in position play, something like that. And I do hate this part because we block the ace of diamonds, we block the queen of diamonds,
right?
For him to have like ace 5 of diamonds, ace deuce of diamonds, just
right.
In case, he won't have that. And king queen of diamonds. I did call, and he did show up with a bluff. He had king 5 of diamonds.
King 5 of diamonds is a cold 4-bet? Well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, the thing you can take away from that is that obviously you don't, I mean, it's easy for me to say, well, if you ever see this player ever do something like that, then of course you can never fold. But how often is somebody 4-betting such a weird hand, which is so far out. Vamsy, if this guy is somewhat of a regular, you must have seen him do other weird things. This can't be like an isolated incident.
Yeah, I mean, the other obvious bluffs are like ace king of clubs, or ace king with, I mean, all combos of ace king with an ace of clubs or king of diamonds. Sometimes people tend to overplay this thing, thinking they don't aces, kings.
Right, but how often do you play with this guy though?
Not very often. That's the first time I've seen him. I've played like a few hours with him, and I can tell this is somebody aggressive. And
because
yeah.
I'm going to go so far as to say is if any of you guys are playing in a game where someone's capable of taking this line with king 5 of diamonds, and you've played for over 5 hours with him, you're going to see some other fucking wacky shit. I mean, it's just, and then when I see some wacky shit, like if I ever see a showdown that's wacky shit, then I make the adjustment. I make the adjustment, and I'm certainly not going to exploit as a fold. That's for sure. Against a guy like this, I'm going to exploit down as a fucking call. I might call down with Jack here or 10-10 if I see some guy pull some shit like this. I mean, that's how you adjust to player tendencies in live poker. And I think all of the calls, or most of the calls from today, had a lot to do with player tendencies. Vamsy, I know
Sorry, quick question there on the river. So there were many spots like this before where you have a value hand that you want to call it. But with this stack size, let's say we're in this spot, we are first to act in the river, and instead of checking and being put to a decision, we have 1K behind, right? Is there ever a situation where you would lead for not your whole stack, but like 500 or something? Let's say I have 1K behind. I lead for 500. And what that does is he's never gonna, shove as a bluff, right? Because it's only 500 more, and I'm gonna have to call.
Yeah, I mean, specifically with your hand when you miss. So I mean, I know you had diamonds here, but say you didn't have diamonds, you were just calling down with some other suited ace queen. I don't really think that there's really that much of a point to lead, because again, similar to the last call and what I was talking about before, I would rather check and evaluate the sizing and make my decision from there. I don't want to prevent a guy from bluffing if he's bluffing. So there's really no reason to come out and lead if you can't get called by worse. Now, if you made diamonds though, you might come out and lead, because again, as an exploit, people just don't bet thinly enough, and I would hate to have it go check. But specifically with ace queen, just as top pair, no, I don't really see the need to really lead in a spot like that. Vamsy, I know you're not a first time caller. I appreciate the call. Thank you, guy. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, and check out the coupon code in the description to try out the Crush Live Poker training site for free.